Hey everyone, welcome to Good Day Google Plus. I'm Chef Dennis, and today we have a wonderful show for you today and a great lineup of guests. And like last week was the man show, other than me, today is the woman show. So, and I can get touchy-feely sometimes. I'm okay with that, you know, chick flicks and things. So we can have a nice discussion here. But let me go down my guest today and introduce everyone and say hi, and then we will come back and get started. So. Today, from Cornwall, England, I have Sue Aston. How you doing, Sue?
I'm fine, thank you. It's great to be on the show with other girls.
Yeah. It's always nice to see you on here. I'm glad you can make it today.
Oh, thank you.
And I know Phil's in the background. You sent him to his place. I heard you say.
I did. He's on the floor doing his techie thing.
He likes to keep her men on the floor. I love it. Not even going there, but that's okay. All right. So I'm glad. How's the weather today in Cornwall?
It's really cold, actually. Very cold and very misty. So it's getting a bit wild. Yes.
Oh, really?
What's it like where you are?
It was chilly. It was 45 this morning. So for us, that's cold.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's going up to 65 today, so it'll be pretty nice out. But we've been feeling a little early morning chill.
Ooh.
Yeah. But we'll take it. Sun's out, so I'm happy. And then we have a first-timer for the show, Roxann Riskin. How you doing, Roxann?
Thank you, Chef. Wonderful.
So nice to see you, and I see you got your Google Glass on.
I'm all set. I'm ready to go. Black Friday. Yeah.
If only you could shop on those. Can you get enough internet to do that?
Probably, but I haven't tried shopping.
There you go.
Mostly photography for now, and I get my messages and my phone calls.
Well, that's cool.
It is.
And where are you exactly? You're in...
I'm in Connecticut, Contrary, Connecticut, also known as the Constitution State, but some people call us the Nutmeggers.
The Nutmeggers. I love it.
I guess we got some good nutmeg here, Chef.
Let's hope. Well, that's what it's for. And did you guys get a bunch of snow?
We had some snow in Upper Connecticut, but where I am, they said no snow yesterday, and we had snow yesterday. So we never believe our weather people too often.
I was watching some of the stuff on the news, and it looked insane up in some parts of.
Yeah, where I am, more northern, there's a couple inches of snow, but where I am, I'm in coastal Connecticut, so it's basically rain, and it's beautiful today, and it's about 55.
Great.
We're like in November right now.
Yeah, it's a nice time of year, so well, I'm glad you got some good weather. And then next to Roxann, I have Maggie Unzueta. How you doing, Mag?
I'm great. It's funny because I used to live in Connecticut. I went to school in Connecticut, and I hated the weather there. Living in San Diego and Southern California, it was 90 degrees in LA yesterday. It was so hot. Here, I left here and it was about 80, and I went up to LA to be with my family for Thanksgiving. It was so hot. It was so hot. That's all I have to say. Hot.
Well, we had that kind of turn of temperatures earlier in the week, and it had been low, and we had 85. Earlier in the week, so it was warm, but now it's back down again. Just wanted to make up its mind and get a nice calm, maybe 75 for a while. We'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't. No offense, no offense to Roxann there, but I really don't miss Connecticut weather.
That's okay.
I'll stay here. I think I'll stay.
But when you say
Coast girl, that's okay.
When you said you lived in Connecticut too, it wasn't so much you lived in Connecticut as you went to Yale.
Yes. And my fiance, I'm newly engaged, he went to Harvard, so we have this Yale-Harvard kind of thing. And I have a son, so we keep saying, we have to. Where's he going to go to school?
Dartmouth or something, That'll have to find a somewhere in between, or UCLA. There you go.
He'll go to Stanford. Well, I'll accept Stanford.
Yeah.
Close to home.
Stanford's not bad. All right, so good to see you today. And Alexandra, how you doing?
I'm good, Chef. Thank you for
and that's
having me.
Riecke-Gonzales, right?
Riecke.
Riecke-Gonzales.
Nice try. Nice try. It was close. It was close. I usually just let it slide.
I know. Don't when I ask. I probably won't remember because I'm old, but that's okay. And you're out in the Midwest somewhere, right? Or you're in?
Yeah. I'm in Ohio, and we're definitely getting. We're already getting a lot of our snow, and I'm not happy about it.
It's been coming too early this year. That's what it is. It's just nuts.
It is. It is. It's been. I mean, at least right now the roads are pretty clear, but it's supposed to snow again tonight, and it snowed last night. But Sunday it's supposed to hit 50, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I could deal with that, yeah. Well, here, like I said, it's 65, but for that time of the year, I remember being in Philadelphia and just wishing it was 45. So I remember.
Yeah. Well, that's what when you said it's 45, so it's chilly. I'm like, God, I'd kill for 45 right now. It's like, it's about 20 degrees here.
I remember too well, and December and January are still coming, so.
Yeah.
Buckle up, you Parker. Sparky is coming. I know. The people down here have their parkas on already and earmuffs and gloves. They think it's like really serious winter time. So it's a little cool for me this year. I'm getting more acclimated, but ready. And Anna Hoffman just popped in. She was around. I asked her to join us, so we have a fully functional woman staff here. There she is. Hey, Anna.
Hey, good morning, Chef. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And good morning, ladies. You look all beautiful. I was just making a comment how good you make him look.
I love it. This is when I should wear the shirt that says "The ladies love me." But
well, at least in your dreams. That's.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the Gaston shirt from Beauty and the Beast. I'd had that in my dreams. And that's okay. All right, so we're going to get started, and Sue is going to play a song for us, one of her new songs, and I hope everyone enjoys. And all of the people watching, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and we will pop them up, just like Christopher's saying, Stanford, the Harvard of the West. There we go. I love it. And we'll pull up for you and give you a shout out. So let's get started. This party started, and Sue, I'm going to turn it over to you and Phil, and you can play something for us.
Great. Well, thank you. I'm going to play a new track. It's called Hollyburn's Lament, and it's a Celtic-inspired tune, and it was inspired by some myths and legends that we have lots of that down here in Cornwall. And there's a legend about a giant called Hollyburn who lived on top of a rocky outcrop called Carn Galva. And he was a very lonely giant, but he did have one little friend who was a little boy that used to come and visit him, and they used to play games together. And one day, this boy, he won the game, and the giant was so pleased for him that he patted him on the head to say well done. But unfortunately, being a giant, he was a bit heavy-handed, and it killed his friend. So Phil's laughing. It's sad. Anyway.
It's typical of Cornish, myths and legends.
Yes, typical of Cornish. It's all dark. But anyway, so this melody I'm going to play you, Hollyburn's Lament. So hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
I'll just change the settings over.
Oh, beautiful.
Yay.
Awesome.
That was beautiful, Sue. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've just changed the settings. Whoops.
Oh.
My earplug.
I could hear that haunting melody. Yeah, it was very much a lament. But
Oh,
very
thank you. Thanks.
I can only imagine hearing you play that up on the cliffs.
I know, with the wind blowing everywhere. It's very atmospheric playing outside. It's quite fun, actually. You kind of feel all the energy of nature and that sort of thing.
Do you have any favorite violinists that you enjoy listening to?
Yeah, I absolutely love Nigel Kennedy. Have you heard of Nigel Kennedy over in America?
I have not, but what does he play?
Well, he's a violinist, but he's classically trained, but he plays all sorts. He plays jazz, electric violin, folk. He writes his own music, and he kind of looks a bit punky. He's got really spiky hair, and he wears like really mad clothes. And he supports Aston Villa football team, and I do as well. So yeah, he's my favourite performer because he's not like just a typical violinist. He's an all-round amazing musician.
Growing up, one of my favorite bands was a band called C Train when I was a teenager, and there was a guy, Richard Green, and he was an electric violinist, and that was like my first exposure to it, but it was just so good. And then I actually got to meet and cook for Alison Krauss. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
Yes.
Yeah, and spent some time with her, and she is just amazing.
Wow.
It was like,
Fabulous.
yeah, so I always have, and in Kansas, of course, I guess you've heard of them, always NELO, just.
Oh, love ELO, yeah, fantastic.
So, I don't listen to too much classical of anything. I do enjoy the music, but it's got to be the right time, I guess, in the right place for me to hear it. My wife, on the other hand, loves it. And when I play heavy metal, she goes, "Oh, thank God I didn't know you when you were into that."
Oh, dear.
Yeah, she's not a big fan of Metallica, so.
Oh.
Oh, the School of Rock would not be happy about it. They'd give her a Metallica education.
Yeah.
I take pretty much everything. The only, even a little 9 Inch Nails from time to time, the only thing that really threw me was Pantera. I remember getting their first album, and it was okay, and the second album kind of melted my ears, and I took it back and went, I can't listen to this. It's like, I'm not that old, but I can't listen to this. So, but I like a nice variety of tunes. So if you hear my iPod, you'll get everything from metal to country to Dean Martin. It's kind of an eclectic mix.
Excellent.
No rap?
No.
Jazz, electronic music? No glow sticks?
I'm not. That's the other one I've had a hard time getting into. I like when they pull up next to me because I'll start the rap to aggravate them because they'll look over at me and go, if you like, I shouldn't be listening to it.
Homie in Orlando.
We've got a lot of Hispanic rap in Orlando, so that really gets interesting. That's taking it to a new level.
I think I learned one more thing about you, Chef. You're undecided and non-committal.
I'm not sure about that. Let me think about it. Metal, country music, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's just,
Any genres.
I enjoy music, and like I said, classical has its place. And I was a big fan of piano classical, and Rachmaninoff was my favorite at one point in that. So I like violent piano work too. So.
So have you noticed how people in movies, anyway, when they cook, they kind of tend to create the mood for their cooking by a type of music that they prefer? Do you have something like that in your kitchen going?
You know, I don't have anything playing in the kitchen because there's nothing nearby. I don't have my iPods out in my car, and I usually don't have anything there. I need to rectify that because in my old days in the restaurant when I would cook, I had a disc player that went inside my jacket, and I'd have one earphone in so I could still hear the people talk. But I cooked to music all night long. That's what got me my rhythm. You know, when I was doing 200-300 dinners a night by myself, that just got me through the night. And it was a strange variety at that time too of different things.
Oh, I totally jam out. When I cook. Well, first off, I always have wine, and that's a must. That's a must. And I'm jamming out, and I'm cooking, and I love Latin music. Like we just had the Latin Grammys last week, so I cook a lot of Mexican food.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that movie with Russell Crowe. It's a little bit older movie. It's called A Good Year, and it's all about him inheriting an estate in France where they make wine. So the whole movie is all about wine, good food, and just enjoyment of life. And the main music theme there is Wedding Samba, which I absolutely love. And, you know, it's kind of the tempo that gets you going when you cook. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible, you know, a glass of wine, good music, you know, pretending at least that you're making good food. It's well, in my case anyway, I'm sure, Chef, you actually know what you're doing, I hope.
Well, sometimes. Sometimes I just go with it. I love this. I have to put this up. Christopher said, Hispanic rapping, Santa's little Spanish elves. Very good. I love that. And then where is her? I lost it. Kristen that said, how about some nice Ramstein or a Type O negative?
Oh, yes. We like them, don't we?
We do.
We listen to that.
I must have missed them. I don't know either one. I'm like really feeling old. Catherine is in the house, and she says Latin music. She likes that. And well, I like my Latin music too, but I like a little Tex-Mex variety of Latin music. What do we call that? I forget what the official label that is, but anyway, from San Antonio, we would have that accordion in there, and the violin, and then the guitar. So it's kind of fun. All right, well, let's talk to Roxann for a minute. Now, Roxann, you're a newbie on here, and you got your Google Glass. You're all set. Why don't you talk to us a little and tell us what you do on and off the Plus?
I work at Fairfield University, and I'm the technology specialist, so I actually get to try all kinds of new technologies, and my office is in the library, and we just entertain lots of new innovative things as much as we can, and just bought glass in one day, and everybody was thrilled to try it, and I've been demoing it around campus when I get a chance. Right now everyone's on break, so we're just kind of chilling out right now before finals begin, and it'll be a very busy time. So basically, at work, I'm really busy all the time with innovative and technologies and supporting technologies on the campus.
How are the students to work with? I guess they really know technology.
They do. We're a campus that's in a hybrid mode. We have a lot of mobile devices, like who doesn't? And some tablets, just anything that can connect and have internet connectivity. I've about seen it. We have a couple of students with glass on the campus, so I haven't seen them, but I've heard about it.
How many students do you have at the campus?
We have, I think, roughly around 5,500 full-time.
Oh, it's a nice size school then.
Yeah.
You know, some of them get so big and you just get lost in the shuffle of numbers, but that way you get to keep it a little more.
It's a very comfortable school, and we personalize everything that we can. We really do. It's a beautiful campus. We have, I think, 30 acres, 35 acres. And we're right near the Sound, Long Island Sound, and it's beautiful. There's also a couple other schools close by. Is that making noises?
You just keep fading a little bit. I wasn't sure what that was.
The wind. Just having fun with Google Glass is basically been fantastic. I became an explorer in January. I was one of the last to be accepted into the fold, I guess. I guess there were a few more after me before they opened it up to purchase for the base. It's still beta, I guess, for the public. But it's been quite a journey, quite an exploration, meeting everybody on the Gverse and fantastic people. You just reaching out and having a conversation is something that I never did before. You can't do that really on Facebook. I'm really not trashing Facebook. Totally, I'm not. I prefer to be on the Gverse. It's just a beautiful community. I mean, if you find someone undesirable, I guess you just mute them or boot them off. But like in anything else, you just can deal with that accordingly. And there's not a lot. I've seen some spam come in and out of the Gverse, but Google's done a fantastic. In my opinion, they've gotten rid of a lot of spam at this point. I hope they keep that up. It's excellent. Google Glass has been fantastic. It's a device that's been well received where I am, and there's not a fear factor. It's just another mobile device. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the things that people read and report, I tend not to want to jump on the bandwagon to defend it, because I think it's a product, as the founders wanted us to go out and present it and see and deal with what we get. We deal with the responses and in both the positive and in the natural, in the real world, and the contrived stories that are made up, or elements of those that are in those stories that are true. We have to kind of take those apart one by one and see exactly if it's a more emotional reaction or if there's any something real to it. I can go on forever, but
I know, and you know, Alexandra's a glass explorer too.
Actually, Alexandra, yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, I have it. I have it with me right here. I'm just not wearing it. I'm now in this stage of glass that I've kind of, I don't know. I wear it when I need to, and I don't wear it when I don't need to. It's been a, I mean, I like it, but I think that it does still have a ways to go before. I was really surprised that they offered it. They had that day where, you know, anyone could purchase it until they sold out. I was surprised that they did that, because I think that they opened themselves up to the criticism that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of Google Glass is dead. It's not worth it. And I think part of that is because they opened it up to the public, so the public expected it to be ready for the common consumer, and it's just not there yet. They're doing a really great job, and if you ever have issues with it, I have never had a better support team. The support team for Google Glass, they're so nice. They walk you through everything. They're immediate to respond, but yeah, I think it's a great product, and I think it will get to where it needs to be, but my personal opinion is that it's definitely still in beta.
Yeah, I think it's got such potential, and I was going to buy it too, and the first time I was waiting for them to approve me, and then we moved, and I had to hold off on the money for a while, and then I had the money again, and they approved me again, and I went, oh. But I keep hearing these things that they still need to work on, like the battery not lasting that long, and what I would want to use it for, like recording one of my cooking shows or something. It didn't seem like it would last long enough, so I figured I know they're going to get it right. Let's just give them some time, and then then I'll buy it, because it is an investment, and at the time it was get that or a new computer and something else. So I just went with the new computer. But now you used it in your classes and stuff, didn't you, Alexandra?
I did. So I tested it out in my classroom for, I did it for 2 semesters. And I didn't do it this semester, one, because I am in my thesis, and anyone who has tried to write a thesis knows that I get no sleep at all. I am exhausted. Writing like a 75-page paper on a specific theory and research is a really taxing experience. So on top of that, I teach 3 classes, and then I do my work for SEOWiSE and School of Rock. So I was just like, I don't want to deal with class as a class this term. But I also, half of the feedback I got was really positive, and the other half of the feedback that I got from my students was that it just didn't do anything for them. So that's the other reason that I decided to hold off, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can rethink this. I do still bring them into my classroom, and I offer my students, I'm like, if you want to wear them, if you're interested in them, you're more than welcome to. And I've had a couple students this term put them on and just see what it's like, and they're almost scared to do anything with them. Like, they put them on, they're like, oh, cool, and they give them back. I'm like, you didn't do anything. What? No, go ahead, play with them. I mean, if you break them, it's okay, we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. But it's interesting. They're more in awe of them than really wanting to use them. And I think that again goes back to all of the stories that are coming out about it that make it sound like something that nobody wants, that's really difficult to use, that has all these issues. So I think, I mean, part of the reason that they have the Explorers is to help negate those things. I mean, it's Google. They know that people are going to have bad things to say. I mean, how many times have we heard that Google Plus is dead, right? Yeah. They knew what they were doing. So part of the responsibility of the Explorers has always been, my stance on it is to educate one person at a time. That's always been my personal take on it. And that's what I try to do in my classroom. But yeah, I stepped back from what I was doing because it was so much work, and I found out that about half of my students didn't feel like it was worth it.
They weren't buying into it. Well, you know, that's it with Google too. Just about anything they do, as well as Google Plus, it's just one big experiment. And I try to make people realize that. They're going, is it going? He says, well, yeah, it might go away. But, you know, as long as it's something Google is getting something out of, it'll be here. I said, I don't think Hangouts will ever go away. They're just going to keep getting better and better because they've found out how valuable they are, and people are using them, and more people are going to use them. But for Google, I says everything they got when they leased that hangar from NASA for 80 years, like what are they doing? We're getting Google into space exploration. They have the longevity program for extending our lives. You know. Their hands are in so many different things that it's just, I think everything they do is just an experiment.
Yeah. I mean, they're big enough that they can do that, right? That's the awesome thing about Google. They're like, this seems like a good idea. Let's just try it out. See how it goes.
I'm waiting for them to take over the phone networks because, you know, then I think we'd really do something positive.
Yes, please. I'm so excited about Google Fiber, and I want them to create their own network. I'm like, Verizon, I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy with you.
Tell me about it. And expensive. It gets crazy. But it is what it is.
I would really like to see Google look at Africa and the places that are really not connected. And they have a project called Loon of launching balloons up into the upper atmosphere that would probably provide coverage for the very remote places and rural places, and I think that we'll see that develop over the next few years. That's my wish.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
That needs to be connected. The one laptop per child was developed at, I think, MIT by Nicholas Negroponte. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but yes, a lot of places are still invested in providing laptops for every children. I love that.
It's part of what they need to learn anymore. You know, the world has changed, so we have to get technology in people's hands so they can move forward.
And I think Google is an amazing platform for that. And look they've gotten us together. You did. We're a global community when we could talk to someone in India, and Africa, and China, and Hawaii, and all voice our opinions on our thing.
I know. Every time I'm on this and I talk about it, I want to break into "It's a Small World" after all. But I know Disney would probably have lawyers calling me right away.
Well, I mean, I can't complain. I love Google and I love Google Plus. I met my fiance on Google Plus. Some of you guys know.
Oh, wow.
I love on Hangouts. So,
Really? That's awesome.
That's cool. Who is it?
yeah,
You have to tell us now. We want to know.
Christopher Volkman, he's on there right now.
I saw your picture yesterday or last night.
Yeah.
With your where's your ring? Do you have your ring? Yeah, there it is. Congrats.
Yeah, he's around here somewhere. But
that was beautiful.
There he comes.
Hey.
Hey, don't be showing us the finger. Oh, okay, that one. I thought Philly was giving us the finger.
No.
How cool is
No
that?
fingers.
That was the middle finger.
That wasn't the middle finger.
Oh, I know.
It was the ring.
Call me off, though.
No, but he does this thing where he what is it, the Auto Awesomes. Oh, I love the Auto Awesomes. Some of the Google elves get together and they put those pictures. And we've been traveling a lot lately, he and I. So you see us in different spots. We're up in Napa and Sonoma, wine blogger, the whole thing. So we have some pictures up there with these Auto Awesomes that just came out brilliantly. And we haven't even published a lot of them just because we didn't want to annoy too many people. But we get, I had to switch over to the hotspot just because my Wi-Fi went down. Like, what's wrong with you, Google? We love you. Come back to. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of celebrating right now.
Your signal's
Lots of celebrating. What's that?
Usually your signal's very good when you're on.
I know. Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. And you're supposed to be here. So I'm lucky that I have the hotspot.
Absolutely.
If not, I would be on a phone, kind of. I'm trying to chime in with you guys.
I wanted to mention we have some wineries in Connecticut, so.
What's that now?
We have some wineries. We have a Connecticut wine trail with 26 wineries in Connecticut.
I write for 3 wine blogs, and one of them is based in Rhode Island. And he's from New York originally, from Buffalo, where it was just pouring, snowing. Anyway, so it's interesting because we were up in New York not too long ago, and I saw these different New York wines. And back when I was, at Yale, I really wasn't interested in. I wasn't as interested in wine as I am now. I always enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but it's fascinating to see. If you can grow a grape, people are going to make wine. I figured that part out. This one's different. This one is from Spain. All right, I'm going to promote on here. But this one's from Spain. It's a cava. So we've been doing a lot of celebrating. And yesterday we actually had this for Thanksgiving, just because my family. We got engaged Wednesday night. Yeah, he can't be on the comment tracker because I stole the hotspot, so he doesn't. Yeah, anyways, he's not on there giving his goofy stuff. But Wednesday night, so Thursday, my family's like, "Oh, happy Thanksgiving!" We're like, "Boop, we're engaged." So, but yeah, we're having a wedding here soon.
So how do they react to the gringo?
Oh, they're excited. They're really happy. They love him. My son loves him. My family loves him. My friends love him. So, yeah, hopefully they like me too.
I'm sure they do. Much happiness to you both. You deserve it, and I'm so happy that you found each other on Google+.
Yeah, you were probably. We didn't want to announce it on Google+ because we have so many people who know us, and you were probably the first person or one of the first people who knew about us. Just because I think it was on a Good Day Google+ show, and you were. So who's your special guest, Maggie? Who's your special guest?
I knew who it was. I was just trying to get you to say it.
Yeah. And you're blushing. I'm like, I can't tell you, Chef. So yeah, I sent him a text message. Chef, it's a text message later on. I said, it's Christopher Volkman. Here's a picture.
Well, I kind of knew. I just went into this.
Right now, we're out in the open. We're out of the closet.
So,
but Google Plus Hangouts. We've been chatting for a long time. I mean, Google Chat. He lived on the East Coast. We have a love story. So I'm going to publish our love story. It is. Stop it. Yeah, he's telling me to stop it just because it's a really crazy, awesome love story. But I will be publishing this love story. I'm starting to blush just thinking about it because it really is really cool love story. But okay, enough. enough.
Aww.
Cheers.
Oh, when you get married, can we watch it on a hangout on air?
Maybe,
That'd be
I don't know.
amazing.
We've been talking about getting married for longer than a couple of days. So we've been looking around here in San Diego and Coronado. So I'm sure everyone will hear about all the wedding planning, and I'm a blogger, so I'm very public about certain things that I do, especially us. We check in everywhere. I have to think about a wedding dress, and oh God, wedding favors. Oof. Okay, so help. If anybody has any ideas, please help me. It's stressful. It's a stressful time. So stressful, happy. Stressful, happy. Music, Sue.
Of course.
Well, if we could do a hangout, we could get Sue to play something from Cornwall for you there. That would
be cool. We can wear glass. I do.
Just make sure you take them off before the honeymoon starts.
You don't want to record everything.
That would be interesting.
There was actually an app for that. I don't think it lasted, but there was an app you could sideload. Just saying. No, I did not sideload it. Come on, guys.
Oh.
I don't remember that one.
I love it.
I know nothing about that.
Maggie, Richard wants to know which cava was it.
Oh, which cava? So this is aria. It's Segura Viudas. Segura Viudas. That's terrible. Sorry, I'm a native Spanish speaker. So viudas are widows. Segura means sure. So a sure or certain. A certain widow. This is extra dry. It's an estate brew. I really like this. Yesterday it's very nice. It's very soft. It's very bubbly. Very good acidity. Sometimes you get that with sparkling wine where it's too acidy and too lemony, so it's too citrusy. This is nice. This has a very nice balance. Yes, I like. Recommend. Wherever it is.
What would you pair that with?
Definitely some cheeses. Because of the acidity, you can actually go into cheeses. I love my prosecco. I love prosecco and wine and so forth, but sparkling wine. But definitely cheeses. Maybe something shrimpy-ish like scallops wrapped in bacon. Yeah, that's Christopher Volkin's favorite, by the way. So I have yet to make that for him. He's been eating a lot of Mexican food. Oh, yesterday at Thanksgiving dinner. This is a Mexican Thanksgiving dinner for you guys. We had turkey, which yum, right? Turkey, and tamales, and birria, which he had never had. And birria is this stewed beef in sauces. You just have to go into my Instagram and check it out because it was just. Oh, yeah, it was good. Delicious, delicioso. Okay.
Oh, you're killing me. I have to go home. I have to go to San Antonio and get some good Mexican food. Although I have to not eat for a week when I go, though, because every place you stop, they try and feed you a whole dinner. So
that's my mom. So here we're celebrating, engagement, woohoo, the whole thing. My mom, normally, she'll feed you like just a side of beef. It's like, here, eat food. Aren't you hungry? Why haven't you eaten? It's like 3 hours later, we're still eating. But yesterday was a special occasion. So more food, more tamales. I came home with baskets of food. And my son this morning, he saw the basket and he said, "That was Grandma, wasn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Grandma. Just leave her alone."
Yeah, let the tamales roll. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So Anna, you're here, and you had sent me a message about something you're doing, and I will give you some time to talk about that. The links you would talk to me about.
Yeah. Well, I hate to bring it back to business, but in all this American or cultural consumerism, I should say, the one thing that I love to think about is how can we apply that to our businesses, and how can we put that to work for us, you know, beyond buying a new pair of shoes or the bigger screen TV, which is usually what Black Friday is about. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, I am the owner of Traffic Generation Cafe, where all I talk about is traffic to our websites, you know, and most of us are online for a reason, because we want to promote ourselves in one way or another. So that's kind of where I try to come in and help people to do it better and for less money. And that's what I've been doing in the past couple of weeks. I've been contacting different product creators that help you build a better business, online business. So some of them, a lot of them said, yes, absolutely, I would love to give your readers, your viewers, special deals on our products. And some of them said no for good reasons. But those who said yes, you can find them at Traffic Generation Cafe. And that's basically what I wanted to make sure that I get to you guys, is that as we get off and maybe eat more turkey, which I had family gathering yesterday. I made a huge turkey and it's gone. I don't even have leftovers. It's so sad. So, but you know, whatever we have left over, we'll have that with a lot of wine, of course. I think yesterday was the biggest wine drinking day in the Hoffman household. I think we killed between 6 or 7 bottles. Wow. It's insane. But I'm like Maggie, you know, I love good wine. And when we have people around us who appreciate that, I tend to kind of, you know, especially after the first or the second bottle, I just open all the expensive stuff and like, here, enjoy it, let's drink it. So that's basically what happened yesterday. But anyway, going back to business, you know, I hate to do a plug because this is kind of relaxing, you know, let's talk about food and wine and listen to good music. But just come to Traffic Generation Cafe if you want to grow your business next year. Check out the marketing deals I've got for you, and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy family and friends, and just remember why we work so hard during the year. It's so that we can do this, you know, take time off and just hang out and yeah, put our energy into things that actually matter.
Well, you know, we look for ways to improve ourselves, and we look for ways to, you know, so we can do this. And what better way to do it than to do it with friends? I mean, we network for a reason. We network because we like each other, and we should support each other. And if we're going to buy something, we might as well buy it from a friend rather than just go out and you know, do a Google search and just grab it. So, you know, someone you can trust, someone you can talk to about it.
Right.
I never see anything wrong with promoting each other, because, you know, we're here for that reason. You know, we have this time together because as a business we're successful at what we're doing, so we can spend time talking as friends talk, and you know, it's just part of life.
Right.
Doesn't have to be laid back, and you know.
And you know, I was just hanging out with Mia Voss, and she kind of reminded me of something very important. As we're going to the shopping season, we all love a good deal, that's for sure. But we also, what we forget sometimes is a lot of small businesses in our areas that might be struggling, or, you know, the backbone of our economy is people like us who are trying to build a business, you know, have a store around the corner. And maybe you'll spend, you know, $10 more shopping there versus going to a big chain store. But you know what? Really, just go support your local businesses, your, you know, mom and pop shops that work there to make your life easier and what it is. You know, we don't want all huge malls all around us where the big chain stores take over. You know, we still want those little wine and cheese shops and little toy store down in my village, down the street. You know, that's what life is all about. So let's support each other and pump our money back into small businesses versus, you know, going storming Target on a Black Friday.
Yeah. And is this Small Business Saturday?
I love you.
I think it is. I think it is, yes. But either way, you know, it doesn't have to be a special day.
I know. You don't need an excuse to do it, and that's like supporting local restaurants rather than chains as well. You want people to do well in your area because you want your area to prosper.
Absolutely.
You want to hear this about Coronado? I have to say that. Sorry, I'm going to plug my little town because I love Coronado, and I talk about it all the time, of course. Oh, and first off, Anna, love you. We gotta do some clinkies soon.
Absolutely. I love it. Yes, absolutely.
But I was going to mention about Coronado how we have two fast food restaurants, and they're not drive-through. We have no drive-through restaurants in Coronado. But the two that we do have, fast food restaurants, you have to get out of your car and walk in, and they're next to each other. So it's the whole come and eat at the farmer's market or hang out at the farmer's market or support this local restaurant. I love that about this place. Of course, it makes it kind of difficult, because sometimes every now and then you're like, oh, I just want something fast, such as American life, I guess. But and and then they make it difficult to get off the island, so you really have to shop here. And yeah, you do pay an extra, buck or two, whatever. But yeah, getting off the island, you have to ferry across or take the bridge or fly. No, I'm just kidding. No flying. But anyways, yes, local, shop local.
I agree. In Connecticut, we have a vineyard close to my son's house. He's about 20 minutes from me. And it took about 10 years to actually plant the grape and harvest. And he actually has he's on the wine trail, and he has an estate wine. And I would think to purchase some of that for gifts and support we have 26, like I said before, on the wine trail in Connecticut, and one's actually we'll have the 27th hopefully in Orange, where I am. We're in Fairfield, New Haven County, and I think what you said is so valuable. You have to support your local communities' businesses. It's very important.
Yeah, 'cause we all love walking through the center of town. We all love doing that and looking in little shops to relax. I mean, at least this generation still does. And if they're gone, you're looking at all empty shops.
That's happening too here where I am, but slowly some are coming back in. They're taking a chance and they're coming back in. It's still very expensive. Connecticut is not, it's a high tax state. Let me put it that way. It's pretty nasty with their taxes. New York may be worse, but we're pretty bad too. But it's as long as you could try and you have the ability to get your funding from the banks or wherever your loans come from. It's pretty good if you can give it a try. It depends on where you are too in Connecticut.
Absolutely.
Do you think it has something to do with us aging? I mean, I hate to admit it, but we are getting old, right? Older every day.
The baby boomers are 50 this year. Let's put it that way. The country is older, so I don't know if age has anything to do with it. I think it may be a statistic correlated somewhere.
For us personally, I think it takes certain wisdom to understand the importance of small businesses around us and the importance of us supporting them versus, when you're younger, maybe money is the issue. I don't know what it is. Or maybe we just love a good deal that it's so much more fun for us to go to Amazon. So that's a great example of online shopping, right? And a great example of us of going to Amazon and buying something there. Or with a little bit more research, we find some smaller websites that actually are the vendors for those particular products, but it's more convenient for them. Not convenient, it's easier to be found if they sell their products through Amazon, but Amazon takes, what, 30–40% off the top for them, So why is it that we still go to Amazon versus supporting smaller websites, smaller online businesses, and shop through them? It takes a little bit more legwork, but it's just, it drives me nuts when we choose what is easy for us, and I understand that. I do that all the time myself too. But why not, go that extra step and find the people who are building Amazon by producing all those great products and writing all those great books? Why not give the money directly to them, right? So it's got to be a better way of doing it than just going to a big chain, anything, online or off, and pouring our money into them versus our local economy.
I like the big chains. I think there's place for everybody, actually.
Well, that's true.
I may be contrary because I'm from Connecticut. So, like I said, Connecticut is contrary. So there's a place for all of us. And I think that's important to keep in mind. And whether you want to support a local business or go to a Walmart, there's an app for Walmart that will cross-compare. My son, who's 24, actually 23, he's a CPA. He has his own small business. He left one of the big 4 firms in accounting, or whatever, 5. He left Deloitte to go on his own to help young people with college advisory and with families. And he's in my own town with my husband. We're very small-minded business community people. That sounds weird. But I love my Walmart, and I love my Costco, and I love my big box stores. But I also think that we have to remember where they come from. There's people everywhere in the community, and we all need to support each other and not exclude stores or brand stores as bad. I really don't like it, and I shop very methodically when I make a purchase. And I do want a good buy, but I will keep in mind many different factors depending upon where I'm buying it from. And I will actually pay more if I feel something like a cosmetic. A mascara was made with animal research. I don't like that. I will look for one that doesn't particularly do research with animals. So I have my own things that I look for that are special for me. But I also like to include as many people as possible in this world.
I think what Roxann is really hitting on is that I'm going to defend my generation. I am 24, will soon be 25, not looking forward to it. Everybody's like, come on, okay, but remember, when you were my age, 25 is scary, okay? But
it's worse.
My 20s.
Those are great years, Alexandra. Those are beautiful years.
But I think part of it, at least for people that are my age, is that we do understand the necessity to shop local. We do understand that does have a certain, and I think it's coming back. I hate to call it a fad, but the whole, like recycling is becoming a bigger thing. Eating clean is becoming a bigger thing, which I'm really excited about because in Ohio they have a lot of fast food, and I'm like, this does not function with me from Hawaii. My mom asked me, she's like, what do you want when you come home? I was like, fresh anything. Fresh anything. It's really hard to find fresh in Ohio. But I think the biggest thing is that it's throughout your years, your values change. And, Roxann mentioned that she really values animals. She's a big animal person, so she looks for particular products that are animal friendly. Someone who isn't a big animal person, maybe, their big value is shopping local. So that's why they shop local. The issue with people my age is we are broke. We are we're going to school, we're taking out tons of loans, we don't have a lot of money, and so a big value for us is we're trying to save money where we can. I mean, I know people that are my age that are $60,000 in debt. So they're going to do whatever they can to save every penny.
That's about right when I married my husband, after all the law school student loans.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's a change. I think it's this change in values. And then I've noticed a lot of people, once they have kids, even though they do have that strap for cash, there's something about having kids that makes them more aware of things like shopping local and being healthy. I don't have kids, so I don't know what it is, but I've noticed a lot of them, even though they are recognizing the monetary value, what becomes of higher value for them is supporting the local community and feeding their family in a way that is healthier to them. So I think it's just a change. I don't know if it's a generational thing or an age thing, but I think that it's a value thing for each person.
One of the reasons I like shopping at some of the big box stores is that they have organics at a less expensive price. So I can eat organic and I can save some money, whereas if you go to like the options, if you don't have farmers markets or Whole Foods, and really I would rather Whole Foods isn't to support them isn't any better than supporting anyone else. So, you know, and I'm getting a lot better value and I'm eating better because of it. So, and I also understand the fact that, you know, I still want my little shops and I want them to stay there, so I try to support them as well. But every business that we're supporting has employees that generally live locally, so we're still supporting the community no matter what we shop. It's just a matter of, like you said, priorities, what means the most to you, and how you express your interests. But I remember being broke. I remember being that age and not having any money.
It's not fun.
No.
It's you know, you literally like just have to watch your bank account like crazy, and someone's like, oh, there's this awesome concert, and you're like, oh, I'd love to go, but I'm broke and I have no time.
Yes, it's completely understandable. We've all been there, and you know what? There's no such a thing as really truly growing up. You know, we're in all kinds of stages of our lives. Things change. You know, we lose jobs, we move, with this and that. So, you know, I completely understand. I completely understand reading the menu from, you know, not left to right, but from right to left, starting with prices. Can I afford to eat that? You know, my husband and I, only recently we started actually ordering drinks and appetizers at restaurants, because we always, you know, you get your entree and you stay there. That's it. You know, so it's kind of nice to get a drink every once in a while. It's like, oh, I'm so glad I got to the place in life where I can afford to get a drink.
Yeah, if I had a drink and a cup of coffee to this dinner, the price just got doubled or something. You know,
Well, it shows. I think research actually shows that most people buy wine based on price, and I wish people would stop doing that, because I've had some amazing wines. I don't know how much this is, say whatever you this is out, but you know, I've had some $200, $300 bottles of wine, and one of my favorite wines is less than $10. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be priced. I could talk about wine all day long, obviously. Sorry.
I want to pop this up because I like the comments for Alexandra. You made your bed, Alexandra. That's a great thing for an almost 25-year-old.
Oh, that's good.
I did. I do have to admit, though, I do it only when I have to do HOAs. Otherwise, it's a mess because my dogs sleep on my bed.
It's a very tidy room.
Well, yeah, you know, I don't have a lot of stuff here. I'm only living here for another like 7 months, and then I'm moving back to Oregon. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of things. It makes it easy to keep things tidy.
Is that where you're from originally, Oregon, or?
Originally from Hawaii, and I'm making the long trek back from Ohio to Hawaii on December 16th. I'm really excited to go home because I haven't been home in like 2 years, and that's where my whole family is, and there's like 30 of us. So I'm really excited, but I'm not excited for the flight. It's like it's going to be an entire day event. I told my mom, I was like, she's like, what do you want when you land? I was like, I don't know, just know I'm probably going to be angry. I'm not going to be a nice person. Just going to be honest with you. It's not going to be pretty.
Have wine.
Moral of the story: wine.
Although airplane wine.
Yeah, airplane anything is just, that's the thing. Like it's horrible. And when you're flying to Hawaii, you can't bring fresh foods on the plane. You can't. That was a revelation to me when I flew from one thing to another. I was like, I can bring a banana with me, because you can't do that when you're flying to and from Hawaii. They take it away from you.
Really?
Yeah. They like to protect the local environment.
Well, they do the same in California, of course. You know, when you drive in and out of California, they have agricultural patrol where they stop you and ask you if you bring in any fresh fruits, vegetables. They will take them away from you. So, you know, Hawaii, maybe I understand it a little more, but California, really? The things around here are just crazy.
In New Jersey, they worry about you bringing other things in and out. It's never fruits or vegetables.
Is it liquor? Is it beer?
Beer, I guess. Only if you're taking it into
No.
Pennsylvania.
I think Massachusetts had that years ago, but I think that doesn't exist anymore. It just sounds like antiquated.
Oh.
It sounds like strange. I don't know.
In Florida, it doesn't seem to worry about anything.
No.
They kind of roll with everything. So.
Well, we lived in South Dakota for a while. My husband was in the military for a few years, so we lived in South Dakota, and we were moving there from Germany. We bought a bunch of wine from Germany, and they wouldn't let us bring it into South Dakota because there's a law where you can only bring in 2 liters at a time per person. So what we did, just for the heck of it, so we shipped it to Colorado, and then we drove from Colorado to South Dakota. And you can literally take 2 bottles at a time, cross the border, put it down in South Dakota, go back, cross the border, put it. I mean, how ridiculous is that, right? I mean, some states are just so stubborn with their laws. And it's only because South Dakota actually, believe it or not, produces wine. It's the worst wine. I'm sorry, guys, if you're from South Dakota, but it's the worst wine. It's the kind of wine you want to spit. Not because, you know, you're tasting it, it's because it's that bad. So, but that's the reason why they don't let you bring in your own wine. You have to do it through their retail chains to, you know, buy the wine there. So you can't bring it into South Dakota. So every state is just those ridiculous rules that were established years and years ago that make no sense, and yet they live on.
Yeah.
I will never move to South Dakota.
I'll never go back. I had enough. My
Yeah.
daughter was born there. I'm like, okay, darling, this is it. You know, take it all in because we're never coming back.
Unless for the great zombie apocalypse, and then there will be places to hide there. So.
It's too flat to hide, I think.
I don't know.
Oh. Well, guys, this has been a fun hour. And it went by faster than I thought. So I'm going to run through the panel real quick. And if you have any calls to action or anything you'd like to share with us, now's the time to do it. So, Sue, what do you have coming up?
Well, I have my show, the Sue Aston Show, coming up on Sunday. So please tune in for that. And I'll be playing my new tune again. And Dan will be accompanying me, my son. And I've just launched my Patreon campaign where if you subscribe to me for as little as $1 a month, you can be kept up to date with all my new releases and get video podcasts and all sorts of goodies.
Ooh, that sounds like a good deal.
Yep.
Absolutely. And Roxann, anything you've got coming up or any calls to action?
Calls to action, hashtag 26 Days of Kindness. I'm photographing a local playground for Sandy Hook. It's Charlotte Bacon's playground. She was one of the little children from the Sandy Hook tragedy a couple of years ago. And I'm doing hashtag 26 Days of Kindness if you want to take a photo, with or without glass. Any kind of mobile device is fine. Just post it with that hashtag, and I would love to see your photos.
Sounds good. And any of you want to leave these in the comments section, please feel free to leave any links that you would like. Maggie, you got anything coming up? Besides the big wedding, which we don't know about yet.
Well, I'm actually going to tell our story. I've already written the blog post. I was just waiting for this to release it. So hashtag Epic Love Story. Christopher's business is Epic Win System, so he hashtags everything epic. So Epic Love Story. And also our recent trip to Napa and Sonoma. So I have that coming up also on my blog. Oh, I didn't put my lower third when you guys asked me. So in Mom Maggie's Kitchen, a lot happens in Mom Maggie's Kitchen. So,
more than we
more than just wine and food.
Yep, absolutely. And sometimes a little barefoot Mexican girl cooking.
Yeah.
Anna, I know you had your links. Anything else you'd like to leave us with?
No, that's it. Just visit me at Traffic Generation Cafe. Check out the latest marketing deals, and I'd love to see you there.
And feel free to leave that in the comments for our viewers, too.
Will do.
Alexandra, anything you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I'll be on Network Roundtable in about 40 minutes, so if you guys want to follow me over there, it's actually, they're doing their Grateful edition, and I get to be on a panel of just incredible people that they've interviewed so far, and I just happen to be one of them.
Who's on with you today? Who's on with you, do you know?
Oh my gosh, so many people. I know David Amerland, Teodora is going to be there. I don't think Gina could make it, unfortunately. There are like 10 of us. So
Is this
I don't.
Dennis Deuces or?
Yeah, Dennis Deuce and Stephanie. Their Network Roundtable show, and they're doing their Grateful edition. So they had something set up, and I was like, I'll be there. You'll explain it to me there. I was confused about what it was, but yeah, it's in like 40 minutes. So if you guys want to meet me there, please feel free. Otherwise, just hang out with me on the Plus. I'm always there as either myself, SEOWiSE, or School Rock. School Rock's got some exciting things coming up. So.
Very good. And if School of Rock would like to send me any acts, I'd be happy to feature them on Good Day. I love my music.
I'll let them know. I'll let Linda know.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming on Black Friday. I know you should be out shopping and getting great deals wherever that might be. But for me, you know, I'm done with that. When you get old, one thing you realize is just, ooh, I like that.
Thank you.
That works. Very cool. But you know, one thing when you get old, I said you just buy things as you need them. You don't wait anymore. So, so have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And December's just around the corner. And we'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Steph.
Bye.